Let's do a video, shall we? Right. Here we are in, I'm going to say new unit, but it's not a new unit, it's new to us, but a change of scenery, should I say. So I haven't done a video for ages and ages, and it seems that every video I do starts off like that because there's just massive gaps between everything. What can you do? Just before Christmas we got notified that our rent in the unit was going up big time. Me and John just agreed that there's no way we were going to pay that. So we found another place to work from, and that kind of triggered a bit of a snowballing effect of not necessarily things going wrong, but just things that are time consuming. I'm sure people can relate to that kind of thing happening, and it's just been one thing after another basically over Christmas. Nothing terrible, just sidetracking stuff all the time. So we're in another unit now, and this is it. This is the workshop. Put together a bench, and it's all a bit of a mess. It's all a bit dishevelled. I have been working from it. The lighting's not great. I've got some pretty good lights up there, but they strobe the camera, and I'm sure nobody's going to watch for more than a few minutes with that strobing away, so we'll turn that off. So I've been doing all sorts of bits with bikes. I've got a DR350 there, the girlfriend's got a DR350 as well, and we go out green laning, and we have been enjoying that for quite some time. We've got some other bikes in the back, and then this is sort of my side of the unit, of the workshop, and that's John's side of the workshop. He's doing an old XT350 with his sights set on coming out to join us on the green laning. And then we've got front of shop, which is the the woodworking area and storage. But I'm not going to go into that because it's about the Slabby. So where are we at with the Slabby? I have done a few little bits and pieces here and there, but really not a whole lot worth writing about. While I'm talking, I'll just pump this up so we can get up in the air. So I did do a few little bits, but nothing particularly exciting. And a lot of the time, I wasn't planning on doing a video, or I was going to bring a camera down and just didn't. But a few things have happened since then. So the last video I did, I had to look at it myself to recap, and we had actually got it running quite nicely, and I did enjoy it, and I was taking it out and enjoying some time on it because it had been laid up for a long time, as a lot of people knew. A little bit of impatience. I didn't completely finish the bike, but I just enjoyed getting out on it, and like I say, it was running quite nice. And then I parked it up for a couple of weeks without knowing really that, well, I kind of did know that it had a bit of a slow puncture, but it wasn't as slow as it made out to be. And I came into the old unit, and it had fallen over and fallen down the bench and done a job on my paint job. So sort of cracked it all up here. Cracks, busted. And the same with the tank. Where is the tank? Let's go and have a look into the dungeon. Sorry, I'll get the light turned on here a minute. That light. Got another light here. Here we go. Let me just get this tank out on the bench a minute. So yeah, it cracked the tailpiece and it did a number on the tank. And you know, when I sprayed this tank, I never even gave a second thought about petrol resistant lacquer. And so it leaked all over it. And just basically ruined my day. I was so annoyed about it, I just couldn't even react, to be honest. So it was parked up and I thought, that's all right, we'll just carry on. This all coincided with a friend of mine, George Donaldson, who's got the Irish parts bin Slabby YouTube project on the go, which is another 750 Slabside, which he's been building from the ground up. You should check that video out because he's doing some pretty cool stuff with that. Anyway, George had said to me he was going to Stafford bike show and he was going to be part of the old school Suzuki stand up there, and did I want to go? And initially I thought, oh Christ, well, you know, I'd love to go to all sorts of stuff, but it always just seems to be never convenient, shall I say. But I thought, you know what, bugger it, I'm going to go. So I jumped on the FJ and Viggy went on the Gsxr 750, the green one, and we rode up there and we met George for the first time. What a lovely chap. It was really busy up there, and just it would have been nice to sit down and have a chit chat about some stuff, but you know, we met, had a handshake, had a bit of a chat, and I left him to it and we had a look at the rest of the show, which was nice. But he was talking to me about perhaps getting both our bikes side by side, because it was George that was watching my videos and got in contact with me and said, oh, wouldn't it be great to do a side-by-side photo shoot, and what better place to do it than on the old school Suzuki stand at the Stafford bike show next year, which is this year, 2024. And I said, well, I don't know, yeah, I mean, if it can happen, then great. So we've both kind of given ourselves a bit of a deadline. I mean, there's a lot of time, but time can run away when you're not paying attention. So October this year is Stafford bike show that we intend. He's got to bring his over from Ireland after he's finished it, and I've just got to take it, I don't know, 300 miles up north to take mine. So let's have a look at the bike, shall we? First thing really is I did do a paint job on the wheels. Not the greatest paint job in the world, but I'm actually quite pleased with that. And I wanted to bring some light into those dark areas. You know, you could either do, you know, white wheels, which are always going to get dirty. You could do black wheels, which just looks dark and dingy there. And I kind of wanted this bike to have a bit of a vibrant look to it. So I went with this darker blue, which is a nod to the other Suzuki blue instead of the Monza blue that's on the tank. And then I did a sort of a, what is that? It's a gunmetal grey with a fleck in it, which is quite nice. What else have I been doing? Stuck some cheapo levers on. I don't know how good they're going to be. Probably get a bunch of people telling me that they're a load of crap, which, you know, wouldn't surprise me because they were cheap. Do I want to trust my life with them? I don't know. I'll decide. How far do you go before you decide that you're going to trust your life to a brake lever before it fails on you? I can't see it going too wrong unless there's an imperfection in the metal somehow. But they're on there for the time being. And I'm putting it together with the big bars, the big cow-on bars. And they're going on there because, you know, I like riding it with them. I like riding it with those bars on. It's fun, you know. In the past I've had clip-ons on there, I've had flat bars, and then I've had these cow-on bars. But one of the things that was a bit of a nuisance with the cow-on bars is they're so big that, you know, the cables never reach properly. So what I'm doing is I'm making it so that the cables reach properly, and then if I really want to, I can just go down a size on the bars and then just, you know, kind of tuck the cabling away in a fashion. But initially I want the cables and everything long and present and correct to cope with those bars. And also I want the nose cone on there. As I say, I never did get round to finishing the paint job on the nose cone or even a mudguard, but I have a mudguard and then the nose cone. So part of the Slabby build was all about the paint job, and I was toying around with that, and I'd never been a real painter as such, so I was experimenting along the way with paint. And anyone who watched it can see that this is what I came up with, which I was quite proud of at the time, and I kind of still am. And I'm in two minds whether to try and replicate that paint job onto the nose cone and the front mudguard, bearing in mind that I've actually got to repair it on this side. I've got to repair this paintwork, and is it going to be a nightmare? I don't know. So I'm thinking, I thought maybe I should just blow it over with one continuous colour and go for something, you know, just a nice colour. Or perhaps I just exchange the black marbled effect with this gunmetal grey. What is it? Yeah, that's sparkling graphite. That is BMW sparkling graphite. Is what that paint is. I get these paints because they're readily available in case I need to touch anything up. So yeah, I don't know. I think probably what I might do is I'll see how the repair goes. If I'm struggling and I can't get the effect I'm after, to then continue that effect on the rest of the pieces, then it's going to go Monza blue pinstripe with this graphite grey on there. What else have I done? Let's get the DR out of the way because I can't walk around there. Where's my torch? Here we are. Okay. I did do a bit of a restoration job on the master cylinder and assorted components for the back brake. Got a blue hose on there to match the ones on the front, and then I had a nightmare with the back caliper. I actually had two spare back calipers. What happened with one of them? I couldn't get one apart, and then something else happened to the other, and in the end I thought this is just wasting my time. It was cheaper to pick up a bit of a refurbished caliper, and so that's what I did for, I don't know what it was, I think it was 90 quid, which I didn't think was too bad. So we went with that, a refurbished caliper, and I painted the hanger, and then we had an offset on the spacing for this back wheel and the caliper hanger that I had, because they are slightly different. I can't remember which is what. So I machined up on the lathe a couple of heavy duty, I think they're bronze, bronze bushes to space that caliper over. Did a bit of a clean up and paint job on the torque bar, which cable tied the hose on there for now. But yeah, that's all looking functionally well. As we come forward towards the front of the bike, that's it really. I mean, I did the front wheel, which is picking up a load of dirt and rubbishy stuff. Did the discs. Oh, I did fork seals, so it's got new fork seals in there, oil. Did a bit of a job on the yokes, cleaning and painting. Haven't done a proper polish on them yet. Well, I did a clean up polish, but it's tarnishing already. So, you know, just a wipe over polish for those. Same with the top yoke. I'm standing on the wrong side of the light here. Yeah, top yoke. So kind of odds and ends really. I sort of completed the front end, bar the front mudguard and the headlight. So I don't really need to take all of this apart again. That's the main thing. From there on, new headstock bearings again went in there. Top and bottom yoke is, you know, satisfactory for a bit of a hand polish over. Seals are done. Brakes are all good. Front brake calipers are all good. Yeah. Radiator is what I need to do next. Sort one. I do have another one, a better one than that. Well, I've got to find it. So a lot of stuff I've kind of a lot of stuff I've not misplaced. I just don't know where I put them. Yeah. So, and of course, I've had a couple of other bikes in as well. I had to rebuild my girlfriend's Gsxr because it needed a rebore and put a piston in it, and top end rebuild really. Did all the valves and that. My sister's Fireblade. That thing just keeps throwing up all sorts of, you know, blooming thing. It's had a new wiring loom and all that shit, man. It just kept burning itself to death. So that's all sorted hopefully. So every turn, every corner I went round hoping to get myself onto the Slabby. I just got scuppered by having to do another bike at some point. But now it's back on the bench in the new workshop, and hopefully I can start picking away at it and get some videos out. So thanks for your patience. Probably had a lot more patience than I have. But we'll see how we go, and yeah, hopefully get this thing ready to go for a show, and then get to enjoying riding it as well. So all right, thank you very much. Catch you later. Bye.